Okay, so the amount of times I've gone to Chuck E Cheese's is a lot. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I love Chuck E Cheese. Chuck E Cheese is like a place that I would always have a birthday in. It was like almost a tradition in my family to always go to Chuck E Cheese. But let's just say one of these days, I had an amazing, and I mean amazing birthday party to go to. And I got to play a new game that was at Chuck E Cheese. And no, this one was not for kids. But before the story starts, make sure you guys do leave a like and subscribe. And on top of that, I am live on Kick streaming, telling crazy stories like this almost every day. So as you guys are watching this video, go watch me live and enjoy some content. But other than that, let's just jump straight into this insane story. Yo, what is going on, you guys? My name's Bubba, and welcome back to a crazy story. So like I said earlier, when I was younger, I went to Chuck E Cheese a lot. Chuck E Cheese was like a family tradition of mine to go to, and honestly, it was cool, but at the same time, really weird. Because around this time, there was a lot of conspiracy theories about Chuck E Cheese's. Like, for example, there was the conspiracy theory about the pizza and how, you know, they get pizza slices from older pizzas and put it in the new pizzas, which I still believe is true, by the way. Or the one where the animatronics from Chuck E Cheese is a reference to Five Nights at Freddy's. I have no idea, and to be honest with you, I've never actually played Five Nights at Freddy's before, nor will I ever play it because I'm scared of horror games, and to be honest, I don't really want to piss myself while making content, or I guess playing games. But this story starts off back when I was in grade 11, and I remember one time my parents walked up to me and told me that I had to go to Chuck E Cheese's for a birthday party that was happening for one of my family friends, I'm gonna say. This family friend was really close to us and was like a really close family friend, and to be honest, I never argued about going to see them because there was one really hot daughter that this guy had that was around my age, and she was like stunning. Like, you know that feeling when you know you're about to go see a hot girl, but like not actually going to go see her, but you're going to see her anyway because like, you know, things just happen to work out that way? That was basically my feeling every time my dad or my mom would walk up to me and tell me that we're gonna go see this family. So I remember when my dad told me that there was a family event going on and it was someone's birthday of a family friend's, I got excited and I instantly got changed and started going to Chuck E Cheese's. Because just in case the girl that I was expecting to be there wasn't there, I wanted to be able to, you know, get away. So I remember I drove my car behind my parents' and we ended up going to Chuck E Cheese's, and when we got there, I remember I was just looking around and just hanging out. I saw there was a ton of little kids there, and honestly, that's not a surprise knowing it's Chuck E Cheese's, but I remember I ended up just sitting in one of the booths and just kind of relaxing and chilling. Now, I remember when I was sitting there though, I ended up basically going on my phone and going on Snapchat and just messaging people, hanging out, and it was a Friday night. And I remember on Friday nights back when I was in high school, there was always something cool going on. Like, for example, there would be a pool party or any sort of party usually on a Friday. So I remember I ended up seeing that there was actually, funny enough, a party that was happening that Friday, but I didn't go to it because, well, I had to be with my family. But I wasn't complaining. I mean, there was a hot girl gonna come in, obviously, like, you know, I'm not losing, really. Like, what else would I do at a party other than drink? By the way, don't underage drink, guys. It's not cool. So I remember as I was sitting there though, out of nowhere, I saw a little boy walk up to me. He ran up to me and said, "Oh, hi, can I play with tokens? Do you have any?" "No, kid, I don't have tokens. Leave me alone," is what I said. And then instantly, out of nowhere, I ended up seeing the girl that I was really attracted to right behind me saying, "Wait, what'd you just say to that kid?" "Oh, nothing. I was gonna give him some of my tokens." I ended up giving him all my tokens just because I didn't want this girl to think I was like, you know, an absolute moron. And I ended up giving him all my tokens, and this kid was ecstatic. Like, he was super happy. And I remember the girl that I was really excited to see was there, and she saw that, and she smiled. So, I mean, W for me, I guess. Going on from there, though, I remember me and her, we were walking around the arcade, or, you know, the games of Chuck E Cheese's. And as we were walking around, I remember I was just talking to her, you know, catching up with her and seeing what she's been up to. I remember as we were walking around, though, we were trying to play some games, but then I remember as I started to try to put a token in, I realized that I have none. I gave all my tokens to the little kid that came up to me earlier. So I remember this girl ended up giving me some of her tokens, and we ended up basically playing some games. We ended up playing, you know, the typical stuff that most people would play. From the bowling thing to, I guess, like the ones where you press buttons. I mean, that's not really descriptive, but you guys know what I mean. I remember as I was talking to her, though, out of nowhere, she ended up telling me something, and honestly, I was kind of tuning it out because I was mostly looking at her cherries until she said the one word that I was afraid of, and that was the word boyfriend. Now, when she told me she had a boyfriend, I was like, oh, wait, what? Really? Who? And then she didn't want to say for some reason. Now, when a girl doesn't want to say who their boyfriend is, it means one of two things. One, her boyfriend's an FBI agent that is undercover and trying to kill me, or two, her boyfriend's an absolute bum that is, well, nothing to worry about. And to be honest, one name that I've really picked up over the years of my high school years, I guess I should say, was the guy she told you not to worry about. Because I am that guy that you have to worry about. So I remember from there, I ended up basically, talking to her about other things and trying to get her distracted from her boyfriend. Now, I'm not no homewrecker, okay? I am not. But obviously, I made it clear to her that if she ever becomes single, my eggplant would be available. She ended up laughing and basically saying like, okay, like whatever, I guess. And she ended up walking away from me. Now, don't get me wrong. I was sort of bummed, but at the same time, honestly, like it wasn't a total loss, I guess, because my plan was to go to the party that was going on anyways. I basically considered it plan B. But then out of nowhere, I remember I had to go to the bathroom. So that's what I did. I go to the bathroom. I quickly, just go to the bathroom and stuff. And then afterwards, when I come out of it, on the ground, I found a 4-leaf clover. Now, I don't believe in luck. Luck is not a real thing. I don't believe it's real. But for some reason, this 4-leaf clover, I ended up picking it up and it was made of plastic and it seemed like something you could win in like the prize pool that Chuck E. Cheese has. And I remember when I picked it up, I ended up just putting it in my pocket and I ended up going to a game. When I went to a game, I remember there was this one like kind of a gambling game where it kind of looked like a slot machine. And I ended up putting a coin in just for the, giggles of it. And I remember the chick that was with me earlier ended up coming up behind me. And when I put the coin in, out of nowhere, I won. I won like max prize. Now that's never happened to me throughout Chuck E. Cheese because my luck was never the best in Chuck E. Cheese's. I'll just say that much. So when I saw that, I remember I kind of like freaked out thinking, whoa, this is like awesome. And then this is where the story gets really weird because I remember this girl came up to me afterwards saying like, oh my goodness, like you won max prize. Like good stuff, Bubba. Thanks is what I said. And then that's when I ended up basically like going to my parents and telling them how I was leaving. My parents were wondering why I was leaving, but to be honest, it was none of their business. I just wanted to get out of there anyways. And as I was heading out for the door, I remember I decided to say one last thing to the chick. And I said, well, like once again, like, I guess I'll see you around. She ended up telling me okay. And right as I go through the door, I'm not joking, right as I walk through it, I go to my car and then boom, the girl that I was talking to that said she had a boyfriend ended up running out of there and running to my car saying, Bubba, what party are you going to? I'm going to the party just, down to wherever. I don't remember exactly where the location was, but I told her where the party was. And then she told me this. Well, like, I literally just got a picture of my boyfriend cheating on me. Like, are you kidding me right now? Bubba, can you stay? You want me to stay because your boyfriend's cheating on you at the party that I was about to go to? Yeah, is that a problem? Like, I can't leave because my parents want me here. I mean, I could stay, yeah, but like, what's the point? She ended up walking up to me and being really flirtatious. And she walked up to me saying, meet me at the Chuck E. Cheese storage room in like 10 minutes. Okay, sure, is what I told her. And then I remember I ended up going back inside. I sat down with my family. They ended up eating the pizza that I refused to eat because, well, to be honest, I still believe in Matt Pat's theory of, the Chuck E. Cheese pizzas being not legit. And then this is when things got really freaky because I remember 10 minutes went by. I ended up looking around the Chuck E. Cheeses. I saw that she was nowhere to be found and I ended up going into the storage room. When I went in there, I remember I like quickly snuck in there after like 5 seconds of just scouting around to make sure no workers saw me. And when I went in there, I remember I saw her literally not wearing anything on, bending over and telling me, you got this, Bubba, do it for me. What? Dude, like where did this chick come from? Like, are you trolling? So I remember me and her, we ended up doing the Devil's Tango in the Chuck E. Cheese storage room. And in the storage room, as I was like hitting it from the back, I looked around the storage room and I saw out of nowhere, and I mean out of nowhere, a Chuck E. Cheese head that was just staring at me as if I was going to die. This was some real Five Nights at Freddy's stuff. And I'm not joking. I was actually terrified because I swear the eyes were moving on that thing. But anyways, I kept going on doing the Devil's Tango. And I want to say like 20 minutes went by until we ended up hearing a bunch of kids screaming because apparently on the announcements, it was saying that Chuck E. Cheese was going to, come out and come say hello. And me, well, I was just trying to come. Going on from there, I remember I started like, kind of looking around thinking, yo, like, wait, Chuck E. Cheese is coming, but the costume is in this room. And then that's when a worker ended up walking in, seeing me, this chick, and, well, the Chuck E. Cheese outfit right beside me. Basically, he saw the whole disaster that was going downhill. I remember me and this girl, we ended up getting pulled out of the room, and we ended up basically getting in trouble. Apparently, this was because I ended up doing the Devil's Cream on the costume by mistake. I didn't know it was there. Like, why would you lay the costume on the ground? But basically, Chucky needed a quick cleaning. Yeah, kind of weird. But anyways, guys, that is basically it for today's story. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And like I always say, just follow for more embarrassing stories. Also, once again, join me live on Kick, please. All right, peace out, guys.